Good morning from Sacred Space. I'm just making a quick video to show you that the ebony timber I ordered a couple of days ago arrived. I don't know what to make of it. Like, I know I want to make beads out of it, but I don't actually have a lathe and I don't have tools for making beads. So it's kind of funny. But spirit or angels or higher mind or guardian angel, I don't know, it may be the dibbook in the roof that I glibly half joke about, but I'm actually perfectly fucking serious because look at all the horror that surrounds me. Maybe the dibbook in the roof made me do it, but anyway, I'm trying to look on the bright side. I think that there's a purpose behind all this. So may it be of the light and of holiness. Amen v'salah. So, because I'm not joking about the dibbook in the roof. So anyway, I had this vision on the 24th of June, a waking vision because I was waking up from sleep. So it was like not exactly a dream, but I was fully conscious. That showed me ebony and me handcrafting like a little, a small little trinket dish out of the ebony, which I won't be able to make out of this because it's the pieces are too thin, but that's okay because these are just going to be my practice pieces to play with, to see what spirit wants me to do with it and why, because it was a strange thing to pop into my head, this vision of me making a trinket dish out of ebony, and they showed me painstakingly carving it out, and it was a lovely, gentle, undulating, feminine-like shape. And then they showed me in the vision, and this is where it got nonsensical, right? They showed me pouring molten silver, sterling silver that I'm gradually acquiring from cutlery, flatware that I'm buying. I'm trying to buy only sterling because it's good for jewellery, and I don't like working with the other stuff. And to be honest, I don't want to be stuck with a house full of stuff that holds no value. So I'm preferring to buy bit by bit sterling silver spoons or forks or knives, whatever I can get my little mitts onto given my level of poverty. And I'm turning them into lovely rings or pendants. So Spirit showed me in this vision, me making this dish out of ebony, carving it painstakingly, and like you could, in the vision, you could even see me running my hands over it, like almost like making love to it. And then they showed me like I had gouged out like a hole in the ebony, and I poured molten sterling silver into it, and it showed it forming like this little, I don't know, like a teardroppy sort of glob in the timber. And I came fully awake then because I was sort of in the twilight zone, and said to myself, what nonsense is this? If you pour molten silver into wood, it's just going to burn because metal is hotter than timber. And then I sort of came fully awake and thought, that's a weird dream, what's going on here? And then it was kind of like the energy that came with the dream was like, no, you have to buy ebony, like we're perfectly serious. You can make beads out of it, or you could make a trinket box out of it. And ebony being a black timber with beads made out of it would look beautiful against sterling silver or even gold, if I could afford gold. But, it definitely would look lovely with the sterling silver. So here's the timber. As you can see, it's waxed both ends. That must be for shipping purposes. And it's got this lovely, beautiful sheen on it, which I suspect once I ground that off or filed that off, I would lose some of that. But having said that, I don't know what I'm doing with this ebony, right? It's like the angels made me do it. My angels or my fae or my spirit guides they're hard taskmasters. Like they know I don't have a lot of money, so they set me these little challenges, and then like this lot cost me $30 plus $15 postage. And actually, when the thing arrived, it actually had cost the seller $15.75 postage. So I was actually a bit pissed off because he initially said $12 postage and then upsold me to $15. And I actually said to him, like, you know what? You go down the post office, find out how much it costs, and then give me the actual price, because I hate being scammed, number one. I mean, I've been scammed by experts like my own family, and done out of houses and businesses and God knows what. So I get a bit trigger happy when people try to scam me. You know, understandably so. It's a trauma response from years of being pushed into grinding poverty and abuse. So I said to this total stranger on the internet, on Facebook Marketplace, you get your postage right, price right, and then you let me know. And then they came back, because they realised I was going off on the sale, and they came back and said, no, it's $15. So I paid $30 for these 3 pieces of timber, and I think that's a fair price because ebony is very expensive timber. Although bear in mind, I will lose a lot of it when I start cutting it up and sawing it and trying to turn what I can of it into beads. I'm not sure if it can be turned into beads. It'd be pretty small beads, and I don't have the tool for that anyway. And I'm told, because I did research this before I bought it, that ebony is a very hard timber to work with, so it tends to wreck your tools, your equipment. But anywho, $15 postage, $30 for 3 pieces of ebony. And the spirits, hello spirits, can you hear me? They can just back off for a little bit, because I've followed their instruction to buy the thing they wanted me to buy and to work with the thing they want me to work with. And what's the higher meaning? I don't know. But I'll have some nice ebony bits and pieces when I'm finished. So the highest meaning is, hello little Beauregard, oh my darling. The highest meaning is I'm being put to work as an artist, and I'm kind of a beginner with working with wood. I don't even have a lathe. Like, I'm thinking maybe I need to buy a lathe, and that'll be expensive. So what the actual fuck, you know. But anyway, having said that, I'll quit whining now, because I followed my instructions and I have my little ebony wood, and even if I do nothing with it, if it just lies around, look how pretty it is. Look at the shine on that. Mission accomplished, you know. I bought what I was told to buy. I feel a bit like Noah building the ark, you know, like how in the biblical story of Noah, how he was ordered by God. Well, we presume it was God, because it's pretty demonic to like flood an entire planet and all, just saying. But anyway, he was ordered by God to build an ark, and he kind of didn't even question it. He just went out and did it. And yeah, good old Noah. I hesitated for 3 weeks because I worried about the money side of things, you know. Like, my angels don't understand that my level of poverty means that I have to hesitate and demur a bit. And when I get these strange intuitions about strange things to buy, like ebony, I'm usually like, have I gone insane? Like, what does this even mean? Look, to be honest, I even rang an old flame yesterday and asked him what he thought about the ebony thing. Like, was it, you know, it's trying to process things, and of course that's not helping my my development, because it's the retrograde step to call a man that wasn't really there for me anyway. Because now, especially now, thinks I'm just mad, you know. I'm mad. And it is mad to keep giving someone who is so rotten to me more and more chances and more ammunition, I suppose, to hurt me, because he can just go, oh, look at this silly bitch is ringing me, asking me about ebony dreams, and she's just mad. But you see, he's been following me around for a long time, so maybe I'm not mad. Maybe I know something under all this nonsense that's gone on between us. Maybe I know something. I don't know what I know, since I stay on my own and I stay safe. and I keep away from people who've been cruel by and large. But I saw him on the road. I've been seeing him on the road a lot lately, which triggered me to start calling him, which was folly on my part. But you know, true love is love, right? True love is eternal, and true love is love. So I'm going with that. So, but the thing that happened was after the ebony vision, that happened on the 24th of June. And I spoke to him on the 1st of July, the first time in like over a year. So it's like, I feel like Spirit's tweaking me. They're encouraging me to be more creative and to try and find a way to prosper. And they kind of encouraged me to call this guy and make a damn fucking fool of myself. But anyway, look, we didn't talk about anything romantic. We just had a quite friendly chat. And, you know, I'm satisfied with that. Like, you know, peacemaking and friendly chats and decency, you know, they're things that like spark joy in my life. So there is that. But anyway, I did see him on the road a few times in the last couple of months, but the last time I saw him on the road, not the last time, but a couple of times ago, on the 24th of May, I saw him when I was on the way to drumming, and his energy jumped into my car and washed over me like a warm balm or a warm air curtain. So I took that as a warning from Spirit to not kind of react and to just play it cool. And I played it cool until the 1st of July when I called him. So I think he can see I'm not trying to be crazy stalker mama T and trying to get love in all the wrong places. I'm just, I don't know, maybe I am trying to get love in all the wrong places. Maybe I'm just making connections to the past because I want a resolution of some kind, or maybe I'm holding out hope that a miracle will happen and, you know, I get the love back that I've been dishing out for years, even though I've been hellishly angry about the level of abuse that was orchestrated by, you know, a mutual friend he and I had that he hooked up with, which is, you know, venal and disgusting. But anyway, they have their chlamydia and their stench, and I have wood and ebony pieces to work with. So moving on is not the same thing as giving up, or maybe a wise woman would give up. So anyway, here I am. Yes, I'm a bit tired because yesterday I cut a second-hand wooden blind down to size, which took me all afternoon, and then installed it, and I had trouble installing it because the screw broke, bent right over, so I kind of just shoved it in, and I hope it stays up in my bedroom. But so far it's worked out quite nicely and it looks quite nice, so I'm very happy with that. And I'm achieving all these little odd jobs around the house that I could have done with help yesterday, putting in the blind, but I didn't ask the former lover for help because we're not exactly on a friendship basis. You know, it's not exactly how I would like it, and I'm not going to beg a man for help. And yeah, I don't have anyone else that could help me with that. So I made it happen, and I'm really impressed with myself that I'm making things happen with my limited skills and absolute determination. So there is that. And, you know, I'm grieving my cat, and I'm still getting over a very bad bronchitis. So I look like shit, basically, is what I'm saying to you, but that's okay. I've got to go down and buy a little hanger to hang this up on this wall here to match up the tapestries, because I made that frame. I renovated this frame. Took me 2 days to get it right because some of the copper pieces weren't the right size. So that tapestry used to hang there, but now I've put the lady up there. I see she's a bit skewer, oh dear. And so I'm like making things work in my little house and taking pride in my little, as Rosie Price used to call her home, abode of the friendly toad. I get it now. So I'm making things work, and I'm enjoying what's left of my life. As you can see, I've got all the colonoscopy prep there, and that's going to start happening next week. The prepping for it, extended prep, and I'm fucking dreading it. I dread going to hospital because it's so systemically abusive whenever I go there that, quite frankly, I want to kill myself every time, and it takes me months to recover, months and months to recover. Probably because of my sleep apnea issues. You know, my body struggles to keep itself alive as it is with the breathing issues, and then any invasive kind of procedures or surgeries, my body just goes into absolute fucking crisis and thinks, well, you know, this is just one more thing we've got to get over. And anyway, I'm not whinging about that, I'm just dreading it. That's all I have to say about that. I'm really dreading it. That's my tapestry of Island Bay, where I grew up. I grew up in complete wildness, and my family were feral fuckheads, so there was that. But look at that beautiful beach. I do miss Island Bay, it was a beautiful spot. So anyway, colonoscopies and dead cats and ringing long dead love affairs is kind of an exercise in sadomasochism in a way, but I spoke to him briefly yesterday, and look, he is actually being kind, so maybe there is an opportunity for some kind of resolution or forgiveness, since for some mad reason I have not been able to completely get over him, and we only had a very brief affair, and it all went so bad and so ugly that I can't even understand why I would hold on to something like that. But I guess it's a process. It's been over 7 years since I met him. And as the Viking vulva reader I saw on my birthday said, she said he won't expect me to go back and analyse and process every single interaction you had with him in the past. He thought you were just in a mad rush, you know, boltering through life like the Mustang Quay that I am, and he thought that you would miss important facts, and I don't miss anything. I have had everything in my diaries, and I burnt most of it because I didn't want to hold on to it, but I have everything annotated. I know exactly where it went wrong. It started going wrong with what happened at Irish Murphy's and with Sarah and Lana, and I I call upon the wrath of gods to meet vengeance on my behalf, because if I ever met those women again, I would be hard-pressed not to kill them with my bare hands, because they caused me years and years of misery and trauma with their viciousness, and there was no need for that. I actually hadn't done anything to them. All I did was fall in love with a man who was ambivalent, you know. They did not need to jump on that bandwagon and be so cruel and sadistic and vicious. So that says more about their hearts and souls than it does about mine. And I do feel like I've been in a battle with something really evil for years now, and that I have been constantly tested and put through the mill. I'm perfectly serious here. I'm going to eyeball you. I'm perfectly serious. You know, my cat dying recently is just one more proof that something heinous is just like an albatross hanging around my neck, and I don't know how to shuck it off. You know, as I said to Dave yesterday, he said, oh, maybe you need to make a holy cross and put on the cat's grave. And I said, well, the cat doesn't have a grave. He's been cremated and he'll be spread under a tree. And I said, and I won't be making any crosses because I hate that religion. I think it's filthy and treacherous and pedophilia, riddled with pedophilia. And not just that, the colonialist attitudes that raped and tortured Indigenous people across the globe. I think that religion, you know, even to put up a cross of the suffering Christ to me is a torture instrument of a very good man who, all right, had a bit of a daddy complex and thought he was God, but in actual fact, Jesus never said he was God. He said he was the Son of God. But I'm not going into that theosophical debate because I don't believe in that religion. I reject it completely. And I'm not an evil person. I'm an extremely good person. But I will not subscribe to that. There will be no crosses in this house. In fact, I divested myself of the last of the crosses that I came across in my mother's costume jewellery. And gave them to a very good Christian family down the road because that symbol belongs with people who actually love and honour that torture device and tainted religion through no fault of their own, through thinking and brainwashing that it's lovely and beautiful. And don't get me started on Judaism either. As a Reformed Jew, I received nothing but abuse in this community, so that's also tainted for me. So where is God in all this, I ask you? Sending me little pieces of ebony so I can become a jeweler and an artist and make something of myself. Yes, there is still a God, and I do still believe in him. He's looking at me out of the eyes of my beautiful dog, who's like, needs a good bath and a brush, quite frankly, but it's bitterly cold, so maybe not today. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that, people, and my mad ramblings and my processing and grief and, look, you know, I'm just exhausted from it, quite frankly. But every day in every way, I'm going to get better and better and better and better and stronger and healthier and more powerful and beautiful in my old age, although the wrinkles are getting quite bad. But, you know, look, I'm 56. It's a miracle I lived this long. I've done well, you know, in spite of my Jewish God and those other heathen gods. I've done very well. I've done very well, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to the multiverses for the blessings they bestow upon me daily. Literally bring me earth angels who feed me and nurture me in my time of trauma, who are so good and kind to me. You know who you are, God bless you. And literally bestow upon me anything that I decide I need for my survival, which at the moment was big black wood. Oh, you know, if I was kinky, which I'm not, would make an excellent paddle. You could really give someone a good belting with that, but I don't do that kind of thing, just say. I was raised by sadists and dominatrixes and partially raised by them. So I make that as a little joke. I don't subscribe to the BDSM thing, although at least they have safe words and consent, which is a bit preferable to the rest of the asshole bastardry that's going on out there. Perverts and sadists and cruel men everywhere. So having said that, I'm digging for diamonds on the soles of my shoes at Diamond Street, it's sacred space, and I'm manifesting men of pure hearts and souls who love me and treat me with respect and are good and kind and honourable men who may not be lovers or partners, but who at least cherish me and, yes, soulkin and soulmates in the sense that they see me and honour me and respect me. And if I can get one that I can have good sex with who's loyal and loving too, then that'll be lovely too. But I'm not holding out for that hope. I'm just living life and making myself happy and filling my quota of whatever breaths I have left. and whatever things I can create. So thank you. Bye for now. Much love from Sacred Space. Shalom, peace, salam.